Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, students, and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the class. I hope you're fine. Hope you're safe at home. So let's begin today's class. Actually, this is a review class in which we are not going to learn something new. We are going to relearn the things which we have already covered. So up till now we have covered 3 of the chapters: story of computer, classification of computer, and working of computer. Now we are going to review the important things from this chapter. So let's start. So the first chapter which we had started, that was story of computer, in which we have learned about generations of computer. And there are 5 generations of computer till now, and how we have given the names to these computer: first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and the fifth generation computers. Okay, why we have divided them and how we have divided them, one by one we will learn them all. First generation and the second generation you have been taught in class 4, so we are not going to detail of first and second generation. If you want to take a review of these 2 generations, you have to go through first lecture, okay, where we have discussed it a little bit. In today's class we will learn third, fourth, and fifth generation. So let's begin. So the third generation computers are being developed with number of the things. For example, development of IC. IC is an integrated circuit that contains all the functions of central processing unit of a computer. So development of IC, it is smaller in size. Capabilities were improved dramatically. First microprocessor Intel 4004 was developed, which was used in calculators. Okay, so you can see here the third generation computer, it is reduced in size. If you see the size of first and second generation, they were bigger than third. Okay, so as we go through the generation after generation, the size would be reduced. So here comes the fourth generation of computer. Okay, in the fourth generation computers, ICs and microprocessors were improved. These were smaller in size, faster in speed, great data processing capabilities. The capability of hard disk was improved. And what are the famous inventions of fourth generation? These are scanner, audio video terminals, multimedia, and high speed printers. And here is the high speed printer, and this is the multimedia projector. Now here comes the last generation of computer, that is the fifth generation. These computers are developed with some special qualities. Some of the common things are they can store more of the data, they are smallest in size, most reliable, most portable. Okay, advanced technology, artificial intelligence. They are developed with artificial intelligence. It means they are able to see, they are able to listen, they are able to talk. Okay, and they have fastest processing speed. So as the generation goes on, we get more and more advanced generation of the computer. So the second chapter of our syllabus is classification of computer. Okay, in previous chapter we have learned about generations of the computer, and the 5 generations of computer were there. Now the classification of computer. Let's begin. We can classify anything on any basis. So here the classification of computer is done according to their sizes. Okay, so there can be the desktop computers and you can observe their size. On the other hand, we are having the laptop computers and you can see the difference in their sizes. So in this chapter we have classified the computer according to their sizes. Okay, so how we have classified them and what are the types, let's begin. So in this chapter we have classified the computer into four main types: microcomputers, mini-computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. We have divided them into different types according to their size. Okay, remember this thing, that microcomputers are the smallest, mini computers are bigger than microcomputers, mainframe computers are bigger than mini computers, and supercomputers are the biggest computers. So we are going to discuss them one by one. So the first type of computer according to their size is microcomputers. Microcomputers are the small size computers. They are general purpose computers. They are often called PCs or personal computers. They cover space of a table. They have limited memory and processing speed. Students and persons who have small business use this computer, and the examples are desktops and laptops. Here are some of the examples of microcomputers, and they all are smaller in size, as these are the examples of microcomputers. Now here comes another type of computer according to its size, and that is mini computer. They are bigger in size than microcomputers. They have more memory and processing speed. They are used in small organizations to handle medium-sized business. They cover the space of a cupboard, and this is how they look like. So here comes the third type of computer according to the size, and this is how the mainframe computers look like. So it is very obvious that these computers are going to be bigger than mini and micro computers. Okay, so they are expensive, they have more memory and processing speed, they are used to handle huge volume of data. It occupies the space of a big room, and its terminals can be spread all over the country. They support hundreds or thousands of users simultaneously, and they are more powerful. The banks, universities, government offices, research centers use these computers. Now here comes the last type of computer according to their size, and that is supercomputers. They are, with their size, they are most powerful, they are most expensive, they are having great memory, great processing speed, their terminals can be spread nationally or internationally, and they are having high level of performance. Here in the pictures you can observe their size, that how big they are. Okay, and their terminals can be spread nationally or internationally. Here are some of the uses of supercomputer. They are used for solving scientific problems, space problems, weather forecasting, and animation in movies. Many of the animated movies you have watched. Okay, so these animations are done by supercomputers. Now computer works better than human being, and the chapter which we are going to learn, which we have already learned in our lectures, but here we are going to have review of this chapter, and the name of the chapter is Working of Computer. How does computer? And it's really amazing to see that how a computer can do all the jobs. Okay, here we, in the last class we have discussed this example. I'm gonna repeat it. For example, if we want a glass of juice, so there's a process to get it. First of all, we'll give some of the input, like fruits will be acting as input here. Okay, we will just grind it, and this will be processed, and the result which we get is output. And computer does all the jobs according to some of the functions and some of the steps, and these steps are input, process, output, and storage. Now we are going to learn one by one. Here is the first step, that is input. It's a first step and it means to enter data or instruction into the computer. For example, we use keyboard for entering data or instruction into our computer. Now what is the data? Data is the collection of facts. They may be alphabets, numbers, symbols and pictures. Okay, whatever data we are giving to our computer, that is working as input. And here are some of the examples of input devices. Okay, keyboard, mouse, game controller. Here you can see these examples we have done in detail in your lecture. Okay, this is review. We are not going to discuss in detail. So let's go towards the next step of this process, or computer working. The next step which we are going to learn now is process. It is the second step. It means to convert data into more useful form, called information. The conversion of the data into useful form is called information. And CPU is used to for processing data, and it receives data from input devices, processes the data and stores the results in internal memory. The process is done in CPU. And here comes another step of working of computer, that is output. Output is the third step of computer working. Output means to get the result or information after processing. And here you can see the examples of output devices. These all are the output devices. What do they do? Output devices convert the machine code into human readable form. Okay, computer uses machine code, and what are the machine codes? We will learn it in separate chapter in detail. Okay, just remember that computer gives the result in the form of output, and they are in the form that human can read. Okay, so these are the examples of your output devices, where you can see monitor, printer, speaker, headphones and projector. Storage is the fourth step. It means to store data or information permanently on secondary storage media. Here you can see a man may forget the information stored in his mind, but computer stores a large amount of information and never forgets it. Okay, so every computer works into four different steps, and these steps are input, process, output and storage. Here we have discussed their examples and how each step okay, how each step works we have learned here. Okay, so I hope you have got all of the things from this chapter, as it's so easy. These chapters from your computer book and copy, the chapter story of computer, classification of computer and working of computer, these are quite easy chapters. You are requested to read these chapters from your book. You are requested to underline the important lines from your book. Okay, and in the third you can see that in the chapter working of computer, there is an EDP cycle. In that EDP cycle, you are requested to draw the EDP cycle very properly. Remember that input and output would be written in the parallelogram shape. Okay, so this was all about your chapters. We have just discussed important lines or important topics or important things from the chapter. If you want any detail from any chapter, so you can go to the lecture from your Google Classroom. With this, you are also requested to do your all the written work in either copy 1 or 2, but you are directed to do your work that is written in your assignments, that either you have to do that work in copy 1, so do that in copy 1, and if you are requested to do that in copy 2, you will write it in copy 2. But the work done should be very neat and clean. Always use the sharpened pencils and follow all the instructions given in your assignment. Okay, so thank you so much. Here we are winding up our lecture. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Inshallah, we shall meet in our next computer class. Take care and goodbye.